for the 3rd of July. So today, Venus makes a trine to Saturn, Venus makes its exact contra-parallel to Pluto, and Mercury makes an opposition to Pluto as well. Okay, so Venus's contra-parallel to Pluto is exact today, the 3rd of July at 7:52 a.m. I talked about this already on the 30th of June, I think, at the start of the week, and is going to leave us on the 12th of July. Venus's trine to Saturn is exact at 2:40 a.m. and leaves us around the 4th of July, and Venus is in Gemini and Saturn's in Aquarius. Mercury's opposition to Pluto is exact at 8:26 a.m. today, and Mercury's in Cancer and Pluto's in Capricorn, and that energy is going to leave us around the 5th of July, so yeah. Okay, so when Venus makes a trine with Saturn, it blends love, which is represented by Venus, and discipline, which is represented by Saturn. So it allows us to be more stable, bring more commitment to relationships, develop trust and loyalty. We may find ourselves more grounded in our emotional connections, seeking more security and growth. With Venus being in Gemini, it allows us to be more flexible right now and seek more sort of open communication and intellectual stimulation in our relationships. Saturn in Aquarius allows us to, tap into our individuality, think outside of the box, be a bit more spontaneous, even though, Saturn's bringing discipline, but it's bringing discipline to how we show our lovers or casual hookup partners love and affection right now. It allows us to find a balance between personal freedom and collective goals, so meeting our own needs and meeting the needs of others in healthy and safe ways. Mercury's opposition to Pluto, though, brings intensity. People in the negative can be, obsessive, jealous and envious with this energy, because emotions can be really intense right now. Positively, we can have deeper conversations and psychological insights through our own self-reflection or talking with others. Pluto in Capricorn allows us to dig into the power dynamics and hidden truths, and it pushes us to confront buried issues and transform our thinking patterns, but also, buried issues in our relationships with others that we put off talking about, but taints the relationship, makes the tension, underlying tension is still felt by everybody involved anyway. So this is an opportunity for us to confront those power struggles, even though the ability to do so may be brought on by a verbal or kind of heated or on the worst aggressive sort of power struggle. But ultimately it's a great energy for personal and relationship growth, self-empowerment, relationship empowerment. It invites us to confront our fears and embrace change within ourselves and our connections, and to have more honest conversations and be more empathetic to ourselves and others as well, and just reevaluate those structures and beliefs that we have on as an individual, or even in our relationships, that may need to change, so we can become more healthier as individuals or as couples or friends or family members. So ultimately it allows for us to have this sort of rebirth, to face our shadows and have courage with our weaknesses and our darker side, because it needs to be loved, and it's best loved, because this is how we can reason with it, because when we don't love it and we bury it, and then it comes out when we're a bit drunk or on drugs or intoxicated in a relationship, because most of us want a loving relationship, but because we've got lots of unresolved trauma within, when we meet even someone who's perfect for us, we can't accept that love, because we're afraid of being vulnerable, and then we get skeptic of whether they are for real, especially after we've gone through heartbreak. I'm with you there. It can be hard to stay open, and I am one of the most open-minded person, but even everyone's got their limits, right? So it can take its toll on us, but we must always fight to keep our sort of like curiosity and love and openness to the world, and not let the bad experiences rob us of, the good times. So this energy just allows us to get in touch with our emotions and our blockages. What's stopping you? What emotional blockages, what unresolved psychological, traumatic, spiritual experiences that you need to resolve, and deal with, so that you can, accept the goodness life wants to give you. So content creators can talk about how we can accept good, how we can be open to, better after heartbreak, describing what heartbreak is, giving tips and strategies and how we can manage it, talking about how we can bring more creativity and structure to our creativity and our passions and our hobbies and our life, and how having a routine, is not actually a bad thing. We can have, it's not bad setting some structure, because it helps us to sort of meet our goals by allowing us to prioritize them and stuff. So we can explore ourselves, and content creators can talk about how we can, build more commitment to our personal healing journeys, to our relationships, to our sense of self, how we can take more personal responsibility for the direction our life and relationships go in, how we can bring more stability within our inner world and our relationship, finding a balance between expressing our emotions freely and, establishing long-term foundations. Talking about what are long-term foundations, these are plans. You may have a goal of, I want to be famous. Okay, so what do you want to be famous for? How are you going to get there? Are you prepared to do the hard work? We feel because someone we see them on the television, our mobile phones, or on, streaming services, and they've just got famous overnight. No, a lot of the time, some people, nepotism and all of that, get greater opportunities than, say, someone who don't have connections. But most people who are on the top of something have to work for it in a way, even to sustain it. There are some people who are just sort of like lucky, but ultimately giving tips on how we can build more stability into our life, the power of structure, order and routine, especially when we are the more chaotic, pointing at myself type of individual, and how bringing organisation into your life can help you channel your creativity more constructively. So just giving tips and strategies how we can be open to rebirth and listening to ourselves and healing ourselves, even when it's so much easier to run away from ourselves. So that was the daily scope for the 3rd of July.